Incredible performance. Shock and awe in college basketball. UMBC makes history in Charlotte.
Can you hear me, Herb?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I'm good. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of Uski and Herbie show here on StreamYard. Sorry, I'm on my phone because you can see birthday supplies in the back. Thanks for joining us this afternoon, 5 o'clock. We're going to try to get Kevin Coherd to come on, who wrote a nice book about UMBC beating Virginia a couple of years ago in the first game of the NCAA tournament. We're hoping he will log in. We'll see if he's on there. On the line here. Hold on here. No, it's just you and I. So I got a text. So what's up with you, Euan? How's everything going?
Everything's going great, Herbie. Thanks so much for putting the show together. A little early start tonight, but a lot of madness to talk about it, and it's certainly a great time of the year for sports.
Exactly. It is a great time of year. It's March Madness. The only thing that's good on CBS until what's his name? The guy on late night, Kevin, or now it's on TBS and everybody else. So it's like, so it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. We got, using. So we're waiting for Kevin Coherd to give us Cowherd to give us a call, and I'm trying to figure out why I'm having. So he's using an iPhone. So. Euan, what do you think about the tournament brackets you saw on Sunday? What did you think about them?
I thought they were really fair. A couple teams got left out in the cold, but you're going to have controversy everywhere. And this year was particularly hard. Happy St. Patty's Day. Nice, Herbie, by the way. This year was particularly hard because the body of work for so many teams was lessened. So because of the pandemic and cancellations. So. But I think the committee got everything right, and Gonzaga's the overwhelming favorite, as they should be. But I'm very, very interested. Can't wait for the madness to get started. How are things going with you down in Baltimore?
Well, not bad. Everything's going fine. Down here we got two teams that's in the NCAA tournament, both on men's and women's side. You got Maryland men playing and Mount St. Mary's men. They're going to be playing in the tournament, not playing each other, but. The women's side, the women's bracket, they put both Maryland teams together to play against each other. So I guess they want to get rid of one of the Maryland teams.
That's great, Herbie. Well, on the show, obviously, we're waiting for Kevin to come on. He authored a book about the biggest upset in college basketball history to date. You Must Be Cinderella. So interested to get his thoughts on the upcoming tournament and what all went into the book. Then at 5:15, we have a point guard, Courtney Furr, joining us from Stony Brook as they get set to take on Arizona. And at 5, let's take a look here, Herbie. I think I got a couple of your emails may have been mixed up a little bit. And then we'll break down the Maryland UConn game. So we got a stacked lineup today.
Exactly. Maryland hasn't played UConn in a tournament game since 2002, and I don't think Euan wants to talk about that game because that was a very back and forth. I was watching the highlights of it last night on getting the show prep, and that game in 2002 up in Syracuse was back and forth. Yeah,
I expect it's going to be a little bit of the same. I'm looking forward to breaking it down later in the show. But hey, you know what, Herbie? Before anything, it's just great to be back in the tournament. It's been since the 2015-2016 season for the Huskies. So we got to get the dust off. So it's great to have them back in the tournament.
Yeah. So we're having problems trying to get Kevin on. Maybe we can get him on next week because we're having issues with the some people, and in the older generation, basically don't know how to use the technology sometimes, so I guess we may have to, do the old fashioned, maybe give them a phone call and maybe record it another time probably.
Yeah, sure, Herbie. I mean, it is from what I understand, and Jim Nantz was very he praised this book. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's a great story, but also too, what I wanted to ask him, and I'll save the question, but there's a lot more to that game than just what happened on the basketball court. The head coach and his family were going through some tumultuous times, to say the least. But I'll wait for the author of the book to come on and tell us about that. But as a writer, I'm always looking for a story within the story, and this one's a good one.
Yeah, so we could probably give him a call real quick, before Courtney. But Courtney's in San Antonio, Texas, from Stony Brook University. So we'll probably maybe bump him down maybe after Courtney, probably.
Yeah. Well, let's. I'm excited to talk to Courtney.
Yeah. So we'll get him started here. So anyway, yeah. Back to that UMBC game. It was actually It was 3 years ago yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah, and I saw that last night when I was doing the prep for the show. I was like, wow. And I remember I was up at my brother's house, sitting on the couch and watching the game, and like all of a sudden, like my friend, called. One of my friends called, like, "Do you see Maryland? You see UMBC beating Virginia?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's only early in the game, dude. It's early." Like a lot of these teams play really well and early in the game, and then Virginia comes out in the second half completely ice cold. And it's like it was amazing. It was weird to see a team like number one team.
I'm with you, because especially with those matchups, we're so conditioned to say, just wait. Here comes the big run. Here comes why they're a number one seed. And it just never came to fruition. So an unbelievable story happened down in Charlotte. So it's yeah, it's great. And, we would be remiss without saying that the following year, Virginia won it all. So they clearly took that as a catalyst to propel them to champions the following year. So a great story all around.
And the funny thing, here's another side note. The ACC tournament a year later was in Charlotte.
How about that? Good stuff.
It was in the same arena as what UMBC beat Virginia. And everybody was asking Tony Bennett, like, why don't you like playing here? What's wrong with this arena? And he goes, I don't know. Some places you have you enjoy it, and some places you stink. Like, like Ray Knight used to have a hard time, hitting at Shea Stadium because of the noise, because of the airplanes.
Hey, what's going on with the birthday stuff in the back, Herbie?
Well, that was from our birthday surprise from Nicole a month, 3 weeks ago.
I still got the balloons. All right. Well, hey, can we get Courtney on the line, Herbie?
We're good. Courtney's supposed to be logging in. I think we got her here. Hold on. I'm doing this from the old.
Yeah, we've got to get your.
I don't know what's going on. Come on, phone. Here's Courtney. Come on. What the heck is going on here? Hold on.
No problem.
There it is. Yeah. There, Courtney. Hi, Courtney. How you doing?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear. Thanks for coming on this afternoon. I know you're down in good old San Antonio, Texas, but you're not down there for a spring break situation. You're down there for the tournament. So yeah. So how's everything down there in San Antonio? You guys got down there perfectly, and everybody all tested and ready to go?
Yeah, we left Tuesday, and it's beautiful here. It's 80 degrees. Coming from 30-degree weather, it's really a treat. But yeah, we're really enjoying our experience. It's our first time here, so it's great.
That's great. Courtney, I wanted to ask you, first of all, congrats on making the tournament. You got off to an 0-2 start, and then you had a couple of cancellations, and then bam, you're like winning 4 in a row. It just seemed like you needed maybe to catch your breath. What happened in between? It was like almost a month that you didn't play. What happened? And, what did coach emphasize? Because it seemed like you were a different team coming out of the break.
Yeah, I mean, we're a really hardworking team, and we just knew that we had unfinished business from last year, not being able to play in the championship against Maine was really heartbreaking to us. And, we had one thing in mind this year, and that was to beat Maine in the championship. And we're a very process-oriented team, so just doing all the little things and working hard and, focusing on each game ahead really motivated us.
When you look at this Arizona Wildcat team, what are some of the challenges that they present to you?
Just being a bigger school than us, they've been here before. We haven't. We haven't been here. Pretty much experienced.
It's definitely exciting because you get to showcase your talents on a national stage. And having said that, this is your junior year,
right.
And it's crazy because you're 6 feet. I'm like, oh, I'm not going up for a layup against you. Forget about it. What are some of the things that you worked on from your sophomore season to your junior year that has kind of helped propel the Seawolves into the tournament?
We just work it. We're a really defensive oriented team, so that getting out in transition is a big thing for us. I actually had surgery in November, so I haven't been able to play this year. But just seeing my team work hard and me getting back in rehab and everything, it's really important.
Well, absolutely. We can't wait for you. How's rehab going? We can't wait for you to make a big splash next year.
Yeah, it's going good. It's harder than I expected, but it's really going good, and our trainers are great, our coaches are great, and my teammates' support is amazing. So, yeah.
Well, Courtney, just talk about it's hard for you to be sitting on the bench when all your teammates they won this championship and you're playing in the NCAA tournament. I know you just want to look at the your coach or your trainer and go, can I just do training tomorrow? I want to play in an NCAA tournament so I can tell my kids when I get older that Mom, in the NCAA tournament, even on a bad leg, it's okay.
Yeah. Obviously it's hard. I've been playing basketball all my life, and to sit out for this long, it's like super weird. Because I've never gone this long without playing basketball and everything. I've been practicing a little more, so I'll be able to practice and stuff. But I'm not full yet, so it's just really different. But just being able to experience all this is still amazing and something we'll never forget.
Hey, you're from Elk Ridge, Maryland, so that's in Howard County. How did Stony Brook find you? Because I know I know people have videos and everything on the internet now. How did they find you from a little town called Elk Ridge, Maryland? And I drove past from South Route 1 in Howard County, and it's basically a blink, and then you're in a different little town.
Yeah, it was a really difficult process, but I worked extremely hard, and they actually saw me at an AAU tournament. And that's where I started getting emails and interest from them and everything. So that was really cool. And I had a lot of support with my high school team, Howard High. I trained a lot, and I was a diamond in the rough,
Oh, I love that, Courtney. I was thinking the same thing. They always find the diamonds. Come on.
Right.
Well, you know what? Hey, Courtney, I want to ask you, I know so much about football injuries and if they play how does it work in women's basketball? Will you be able to get this year of eligibility back?
Yeah, supposedly they give everyone an extra year.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's just NCAA doing that for us because times have been so hard and so uncertain. A lot of teams have been shut down multiple times, and it's just really hard for everyone. So yeah.
Absolutely. Wow. I was gonna Google this, but I was like, I want to just lay it on you. What is a sea wolf?
We're supposed to say I'm a sea wolf, because it's not really a thing. But yeah, okay. We're sea wolves.
All right.
Yeah.
Not really a thing.
Yeah.
It's so classic.
Right.
That's awesome. Yeah, Seawolf is I want to say a Seawolf is basically it's like a wolf. It's a Long Island thing. Come on, there's a Long in Long Island. There's a lot of weird things in Long Island because I'm from Oceanside, New York. So there's a lot of weird things. I used to go up there and go what the going on up there?
Yeah, we get that question all the time.
I know you do, Courtney. I was like, oh my God. I had to ask. When you come back next year, obviously health is the number one, but I always ask coaches, how do you let younger players mesh with older players? And, how do you kind of let leadership develop naturally? what do you think your role is going to be, next year, as opposed to, I mean, sitting out this year, you get to take everything in, root for your teammates, but are you going to become more of a vocal leader? Obviously, you'll get a ton of minutes. How do you kind of approach the game after sitting out a season?
Yeah, I mean, I've been in the program this is my third year, and next year will be my fourth. So, I kind of know the program and what our coaches want, and, the work ethic that it takes to get to this point right now. So just, having all of our newcomers on board and, really with our standard and our cultures, everything is really important. So just getting everyone on the same page.
Right on.
Exactly. Well, Courtney, let me let you guys go. Enjoy the weather, and I hope you can bring back some of that warm, beautiful weather we have. Right now it's chilly here in Maryland, but bring it back to Maryland and the East Coast so we can actually feel like we have some spring coming. So yeah. I appreciate you coming on.
And next year when you're playing, we want to bring you back. And Herb FM Sports Radio gets the first interview when you get drafted with the WNBA. Woohoo! Let's go, Courtney! Nation!
I appreciate the support.
Of course. We love you. Keep working hard with rehab, okay?
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Okay. All right, folks.
See ya.
See ya. All right, that was Courtney from Fuhr from the Stony Brook Seawolves on Long Island, women's basketball. So it's fascinating. Stony Brook plays in the Columbia Athletic Conference for football, but in basketball and in other sports, they're in the American East Conference.
Wow,
it's like I was like, how did you join the whole? Just make this one big one,
Right. That's crazy. Wow, Herbie. I didn't. Because I think the only other team I could think of that even did anything like that was like Notre Dame when they were independent in football, but in basketball they'll be in a conference. That's the only thing I could, comparatively speaking, think of.
Exactly. Well, folks, we're going to try to get Kevin on here. I got to switch over to the computer. Hopefully the laptop's working. We can get Kevin on the line for a couple minutes before we get Terrence Lewis, who is from the Northern Texan, the Fighting Mean Green, buddy. The Fighting Mean Green.
How about it? Let's do it. I love North Texas.
It sounds like we're watching. I got to say something. These college nicknames are funny as anything. There's like North, Connecticut Huskies. Okay, yes, Huskies. You're up there in Connecticut. It's cold, New England. But there's other teams like North Texas Mean Green.
Yeah, I love it. I love the program. They're always good to come close to an upset or two in college football.
Yeah. What do you think? It's like, you got the what is their mascot? Like the bacteria off of a piece of bread.
Mean Green. Wow, man, you're really reaching for that, Herbie.
No, I don't know.
Let's ask.
I would like to ask Terrence. When he gets on the air here, I want to ask him. Does he know? Because he's from Maryland, and a lot of Maryland Terrapin fans don't really know what a Mean Green is. It sounds like Hulk Hogan, Mean Gene, right there too.
Oh yeah, Mean Gene Okerlund, love the guy.
I know. Exactly. So let's try to get Kevin on, or we'll get Kevin. How about this? We'll get Kevin on next week because we got a 5 minutes up, before we get Terrence. So I'll text him and tell him, we'll get him on next week, or I'll do something with him tomorrow. So folks, we got a big special coming up at 6:00 to honor March as the National Women's Month. There's a lot of young ladies who have been become minor league broadcasters. So we have 3 young ladies coming on. Hopefully they'll be. I emailed them this morning, and I hope they got my email and make sure we're all set here. Let's bring the names up here on the phone. It's Emily, Melissa.
That'll be really interesting, Herb. Their experiences, how they got started, and just in a male-dominated field. It's great that these young ladies are thriving and they love the game. So I can't wait for that.
Yeah, and they've all minor league broadcasters. One is from the Boston area, Jillian Gillen. She's from the Boston, Massachusetts area, and she went out to Arizona or California to be in the California State League. This is the low A ball for the Arizona Diamondbacks, and they won a championship in 2019. So technically, they're still defending champs. And so, and then we got Emily Tillerman, who just became the Portland Sea Dog broadcaster, and you might want to ask her what a sea dog is. It's up there in Portland, Maine.
I wonder who's stronger, sea dogs or sea wolves.
Exactly. Speaking of, we were just talking a couple minutes ago. Let me get the broadcast thing off here. We were just talking a couple minutes ago. Let's bring in. Oh, that's the wrong button.
Okay, we're having some technical difficulties, but show will be back on. Herbie will be back, and so will our guest. Oh, there he is coming.
What is going on there? All right, let's bring in Terrence here. Hi, Terrence. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. Welcome to. I guess you guys are in Indianapolis. How's being in the Hoosier State the last couple of days?
Oh man, it's been great. Honestly, just being here is a great experience. Actually, a dream come true. Just watching all the games when you were little in March Madness, and now I have the opportunity to really be here and play. And it's just amazing just being here with my teammates. It's seeing a lot of the people that I know, and it's just incredible.
Yeah. I do need to ask you. You and I were just talking a couple minutes ago. What is a mean green?
Wait, say it again. I'm sorry.
Mean Green. Your mascot is North Texas Mean Green. What is a Mean Green? Is it like is it on the sidelines? Is it a bacteria that they use in the testing labs? They're in the science. What is it?
To be honest, I really feel like you put me on the spot because I honestly don't even know what gold mean green. What is it as well? But to a certain extent, I've been seeing like eagles and stuff like that. So I guess like
okay,
I thought it was the Eagles or something, but I honestly really don't know what gold is actually. So
I do apologize to put you on. I do apologize to put you on the spot there, but I was just trying to. We're trying to have a debate here before we got you on. Like, what is it? Like all these college teams have like these cool mascots, and it's like all of a sudden you guys are like, huh? What is that? So anyway, yeah, go ahead, Euan.
Yeah, Terrence, congratulations. Great season, man. No matter what happens, you can always tell your kids, I played in the NCAA tournament. So first of all, congratulations to that. But, taking on a powerhouse like Purdue, what are some of the things, I hear coaches say, the most important minutes are, especially in games like these where you have siege, are the first couple just to kind of settle in, get your rhythm. What are some of the keys just out of the gate for you guys just to kind of settle in against Purdue?
Well, first and foremost, I just want to just say thank you for what you were saying. And I mean, there's a lot like each practice and each shoot around. We just got to take everything seriously, just following the game plan and like what we have to do on offense and defense. Because I mean, it's like it's win or go home. We just gotta follow what the game plan is and just help each other out so we can help each other reach success and go where we need to go. And I feel like everybody just being dialed in and just knowing what their role is right now is really, a key importance to what we're trying to do. So those are probably the most important things that I would just say right now as in when we're playing.
Yeah, in your preparation, tell us what your coach has really kind of emphasized in terms of just, attacking. Because earlier on in the show, we were going to have a guy who wrote a book that covered the 16-1 loss. And, it's just like anything can happen on any given, just like we say on any given Sunday. Is that the kind of approach that your team has? Like, hey, we got nothing to lose. No one gives us any chance. Let's go out and let it all hang out.
Well, yes and no to a certain degree. Coach Hodge, one of the associate head coach, always just said like, when you think it's going to be easy, it's really not. So we just gotta just know that everything is not going to be given easy. I mean, they're going to give their all, and we're going to give our all. So we just got to just execute the game plan, just play hard, and then everything will take care of itself.
Yeah. Well, folks, we're here with Terrence Lewis III, who is from Upper Marlboro, Maryland, who is with North Texas. They're going to be playing Purdue in the Big Ten. I think that's what you guys are on a Saturday, right? So it's a Saturday, midday?
No, I think it's we play Friday night, sir.
Okay, that's good. Give me something to watch when I get home then. Excellent. Excellent. So, so anyway, but just talk about you. I was reading your bio. You came through the junior college, ranks. So you went from, you came from Upper Marlboro, went out to Arizona, went to different places. Who were recruiting you to come play, after after you're done junior college? Who gave a phone call? Was North Texas always been on your radar, or did you have other schools saying, "Hey, come join us"?
To be quite frank, honest with you, like I had a lot of schools reaching out to me, but I mean, I really can't remember the names. But North Texas was definitely on the radar. They were really hard on me from I would say maybe earlier in the year. I can't say what month, but like they were really hard on me, just talking to me, just communicating with me and everything, and it was just great. It's really kind of hard to talk about how long ago it was, because I mean, with everything that has gone on with COVID and everything, and then what we had to deal with, because I mean, as you guys all know, that the NCAA didn't have a tournament last year, and for JUCO, like there were some teams who made it, but my team didn't make it. But I'm just saying, like those, it was just so far along. I think like maybe a year ago today, honestly, where they were just telling teams about who made it to Hutch and everything. So it's just really kind of hard to remember all that at that time period.
Yeah, Terrace, I got to ask you something. We've talked to, college, big time college athletes, even NFL players that have gone through the JUCO route that just say, you know what, I needed it. It humbles me. There's a little less pressure. What was your JUCO experience like getting you to this point?
My JUCO experience was really great. I mean, a lot of people that went JUCO have different stories about how it was great for them and everything. But one thing that I had to say is like JUCO really isn't for anybody. Like it's like an environment where a lot of people, it's like their last chance of like going anywhere, so they just have to give it their all. There's been many people from my area or that I've met over the past 2 years when I was at JUCO, just giving it all they got, because I mean, no other person gave them an opportunity. And one thing I do notice about JUCO, like we all care and want to see each other succeed. Like there's no hate. I mean, when people are succeeding, we wish them luck and just congratulate them. That's just one thing that I always will remember about JUCO, and just the friendships and everything, because we all wanted to see each other succeed. Like there was no person who hated on another man.
That's cool.
That's a good point. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's a meaning of teamwork, and also being a family too. You guys work together, on the court and off the court. You guys hang out with being a family, and you guys make sure you guys are good. And if somebody needs help, you bring them up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Awesome. Well, Terrence, thanks so much for coming on. I know you're a busy guy. Real quick, one question to ask you: are you guys on one floor? Because I heard today, I was listening to one of the coaches. Everybody has one floor for everybody in a hotel. Are you on one floor and then you can't go anywhere else?
Hold on for 1 second. Okay,
Tough
so
question.
like I'm sorry, I just gotta ask. So like
we are
on one floor as like a whole team, but as far as going places, I honestly don't know. This is me just coming here and just knowing what I can and cannot do is just I honestly really don't know. I mean, I feel like you put me on the spot again with that question, but I really can't give
we love you, baby. We're gonna bring you back after you beat Purdue. How you like them apples? Come on, baby. Let's go, T.
We'll get you back on. Yeah.
I don't want to give y'all like all the information like about what we can and cannot do and just be false or anything like that and everything. But hold on. I do have one question for you guys.
Sure.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I don't know who like someone has spelled my name wrong, and like they said I was the third. Like it says Terrence.
It's on the website.
Yeah, and my name is spelled Terence, and I'm not the third. I'm the second. I was kind of confused about who's this person.
Man. Yikes!
I'm sorry about that. It's actually on your website, your team's website. They put you the third. So somebody, so you got to check into it. I'll check into that, and if I made a spelling mistake, I apologize. Yeah.
Okay. I'll definitely just ask them because I would just like people just don't like having their name spelled wrong, especially me. Cause a lot of people spell my name wrong. Like they always say TERRANCE, TERANCE, and then like, but it's actually TERENCE. So but
Terrence.
Yeah,
Terrence.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Terrence, man, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Good luck tomorrow on Friday, and score some big points, and we'll see you in then we'll get you back on if you beat Purdue. All right.
All right. Thanks, sir. You guys take care. Enjoy your night.
Good luck, Terrence.
All right. Thank you.
All right. See you.
All right. Press what? Where's off?
There you go. All right, that's good. Yeah, well, dude, I got that off the website. So someone needs to do the proofreading. Because I was like, okay, and I was reading in there.
I know. Not only did they spell his name wrong, but they have the third instead of the second. Wow. So it's on their website. It's back-to-back mistakes. But hey, we can only
Yeah. Hey, I want him to score beat Purdue, and we'll get him back on, and we'll get a correct spelling. So we'll take care of it. We always take care of things here on Uski and Herbie. So
I know we do. I hope we can get your laptop up and going, buddy.
Well, it's up and running now. Yeah, let me see. Let me switch over and see how it works. Okay, so hold 1 second.
Well, folks, we're going to wait until Herbie gets back. And there he is.
Hear me now?
I can hear you.
Hold on. I can't.
Okay, well, we'll see if we can go another route. All right, Herb FM Sports Radio Podcast will continue in just a minute. We have a lady roundtable coming up. 3 experienced play-by-play minor league broadcasters are going to be joining us today. We'll break down the UConn Maryland 7-against-10 matchup. Obviously, Baltimore. Herb lives in Baltimore, so he's going for the Terrapins, and I'm an alumni, so we're going to break down that game. I'm going to give you my pick for that game. You're going to want to stay tuned. And here comes my partner.
All right, bud. I don't know what's going on. I think I need to talk to somebody with the internet here. Yeah, because we're not getting the pool. Like we had fast internet a couple months ago, and now it's like slow. There's something going on here. So for a while we're going to be on the video here. So all right, folks. Thanks for coming back here. Let's talk more about this Maryland versus UConn matchup this Saturday night 7:10 on CBS. I don't know. You're down in Florida, Euan. I don't know is that going to be the first game that people are going to tune into, and then they're going to move on to different regions?
Who knows, man? I'm going to be at a bar watching them play. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm geared up. I'm excited. It's a great matchup of 2 teams that have gone deep in the tournament. Obviously, Connecticut's won twice. 7-against-10, not exactly a 12-against-5, but anything can happen in this ball game. And since James Bouknight has come back, I mean, in the regular season, Huskies won 5 out of their last 6, and they're shooting 46% from the field. Oh, I love it, man. This is great. Look at this.
Some old
Oh,
school.
old footage, man. Who's that? My buddy Travis Knight? Come on, man. Oh, this is great. This is good stuff right
Look
here,
at Lonnie
man.
Baxter, dude. Lonnie
Oh
Baxter, and then
yeah,
you
he
got
was a
somebody.
beast.
Yeah, and then you have some guy named Steve Blake, and then you have
Yeah.
Juan Dixon, who's now the coach at Coppin State University here in Maryland. So it's like this is like flashback to like 2002. Where were you at this game? Were you watching this game in college? Where were you when this game was on?
So I'm going to go ahead and say I was at a bar watching this game. And to say, "Oh, is that Karan Butler, baby? Let's go, man!" I'm
Look at that!
excited.
Look at that slam! And look at Gary Williams. Look at Gary Williams on the side. If they showed this, thanks to the folks at ESPN. It was on YouTube. We'll thank them another time. But if you look at Gary Williams used to go through all his suits during the game. He looks like he was like swimming in them. Because if you see this, look at this. A foul.
That's
Okafor, dude. Okafor, he was in the NBA. This is a lot of NBA players on this on these both squad.
Chris Wilcox for Maryland was in the NBA. So
Yeah.
I mean, for me, Herb, it comes down, as most of these games come down to, is point guard play. You got James Bouknight, who's averaging, since he came back, averaging 19 a game, but he's going up against Daryl Morsell. He's the best defender in the country. The best defender in the best conference in the country. So something's got to give there.
Yeah, I feel like Maryland, because I'm in the state of Maryland. Maryland's been up and down all year. Like, you had a 5-game winning streak, and a couple of weeks ago they won 5 in a row. They get over to the other side, and they leave a goose egg at Northwestern. Northwestern's not even in the tournament. And then they come home and they lose to Penn State by with a guy who didn't take a shot all game, takes a 3-pointer at like 2.5 seconds left at home at College Park, where there's nobody at College Park. It's just cardboard cutouts and Johnny Holiday, who's a good friend of ours. And loses that game, and then they take on Michigan State. They beat Michigan State, on Thursday morning. Then Friday, they was winning fisticuffs against Juwan Howard in Michigan. Did you see that?
I did. I saw it on ESPN. As a matter of fact, it's crazy. Herbie, it's hard to, because of all the cancellations and because of, I don't think besides, the upper tiers, it's been hard to, get a full season in. It's been hard to be consistent, but all that doesn't matter now. It's one and done, win and move on. And I want to tell you something, Herbie. I'm really impressed with the Huskies defense, on their board defense too. They rebound the basketball so well, and Maryland is 327th in the nation in offensive rebounds. So the Huskies pride themselves in a one and done. And against this team, I don't see a lot of points being scored. Right.
I think it's going to be a good defensive struggle for both squads. And I think Utah might have the slight advantage. I did a polling question. You asked me to put up a polling question, and right now, Maryland has a slight lead on you guys. I think it's like 65 to 55% on our little polling question on Herb FM on Twitter.
Okay. All right. We lost Herbie again due to some technical difficulties, but he will be back, and I'm going to just put it right out there. I like Connecticut, lay the 3 points. I think they win this game by 6 or 7.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I just can't see you.
I know. Hold on, Mike. Yeah, I got to call the cable company here.
This is getting crazy,
what's
man.
going on here today? I have no clue what's going on here. So let me bring in Greg here. Greg, I can see Greg. I don't know if I can see him. He was on. Hold on here. Folks, thanks for sticking with us. Let me add him to the stream here, see if we can pick it up here. Greg, can you hear us?
I can. How are you?
Doing good. Thanks for coming on. I'm sorry the video's not working. I don't know what's going on here.
That's right.
I'm having internet issues like galore today. Yeah.
No problem.
So, yeah, you got to love technology. So,
we've all been there.
Yeah. So Greg, how you say your last name? I was just working on it 2 seconds ago. Is it Glenn? How you say it?
Jamboree.
Oh, nice. Okay. Italian, Greg?
You got it. Yep.
All right. Does your mom or grandmother, if hopefully she's still with us, make fresh gravy?
My mom does, yeah. And I do too. Man. My brother that
where do you live again? Because Herbie and we're big eaters.
Yeah, New Jersey.
Oh, Herbie.
Jersey Shore, yeah.
Herbie, Greg just said that we can come up to Jersey, take in a game, and get some homemade gravy. I'm in. I'm going to pick you up on my way up there.
I should have it handy here, but when does Aberdeen come up? You guys should come up with them, right?
Oh, yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, we'll make a trip up there.
Yeah. August 3rd through 8th. They'll be here.
Yeah, let me make a note of it.
Yeah,
take care of
Greg, just talk about this new league. It's pretty cool that you guys are, with Aberdeen and Brooklyn and everybody who was part of the New York Penn League. Pretty much, there's now in the low A ball. It's or the high A. For you guys with the Phillies. So right. What's the feeling like?
Yeah, so for us, it's great. We had been in the South Atlantic League, and we weren't really south. The closest team to us in the Sally League was Delmarva, another Orioles team, but they were about 185, 190 miles away. And then you had Hagerstown out in Western Maryland there, which was about 220 miles away. Those are the two closest teams. Everybody else was at least 500 miles. So now, we're in a situation with Brooklyn, Aberdeen, Wilmington, and Hudson Valley, and every one of those teams is within, Aberdeen's probably 2.5 hours. Hudson Valley is about the same. And then Brooklyn is 60 miles. It could be, that could be an hour. It could be 4, depending on what time you go.
Just driving. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. And then, Wilmington is about 95 miles, hour and a half, hour 40. So, to have all those teams so close together, I think is awesome, because not only can Blue Cross fans realistically go see their team play on the road and be back at, that night without too much trouble. The same is true for fans of Aberdeen or Wilmington or whoever, if they want to come down and see a game and make it back home, no problem.
Yeah, look at the video I have. You guys have a very nice ballpark. It looks like just like what Ripken Stadium is a little bit. But you guys, where are you in? You're near the Jersey Shore, right? And what exit are you off the Jersey Turnpike?
I think it, to be honest, I should know. I think it's 7. It's whenever the exit is for Interstate 195. It's about midway north-south up the state. And then on the Parkway, exit 89. So You basically take 195 east and then and come on down Route 9 here to Lakewood. So that's where we are. We're about 5 miles or so from the Atlantic Ocean.
Wow, look at those. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful area there. It's just basically a good day to bring in a crab, go crabbing in the morning, and go see the blue crabs at night, right?
Yeah, the blue claws. Yeah, the blue crabs are down. You guys wait.
Yeah,
blue claws. But yeah, absolutely. Come spend a day, go to the boardwalk, go to the beach, and come on over at night. So.
Hey, Greg, how are going forward? How is management moving forward? What kind of crowds can we expect? What's the capacity going forward with the COVID guidelines?
Yeah, so right now, at this exact moment, 15% is per the executive order of New Jersey, the state of New Jersey. Hopefully that'll inch up a little bit as we get closer. So it's still kind of fluid and hard to say, but we'll have fans. We'll be open. May 4th is the first game, and we'll have fans, and they'll be spread out. We have a big ballpark. So we have a 360-degree concourse, which is one of the most popular, probably the most popular feature of the stadium for fans in general. How they can come out to the ballpark and walk, do a lap, go all the way around. That's not true in most parks. So that gives us plenty of opportunity to socially distance everybody and seat everybody safely. So, the exact number, we're still kind of working through some stuff, but we'll be able to put on a good show for a good amount of folks this summer for sure.
Hey, Greg, I don't think I've ever asked this question of anyone, but what goes into changing a name take us inside that.
So this was a process that started back in late November, early December of 2019. That's when we planned to do it. And we were always going to do it for the 2021 season. That was always going to happen. So we work with a firm called Brandiose. They're based in Southern California. They've done rebrands and logos for, I think they work with about 50 or 60 minor league teams all over the country. So their two guys, Jason Klein and Casey White, they flew in from San Diego in January. This is before the pandemic hit and everything. And, we were in a unique situation because, a lot of times when teams rebrand, they're changing, maybe they're moving to a new stadium or they're changing everything. We're just changing Lakewood to Jersey Shore. What we wanted to do was, kind of embrace or reestablish the connection between the Blue Claws and the entirety of the Jersey Shore community that has supported the team for 20 years. So, we were always going to stay the Blue Claws. We changed to Jersey Shore, but, with that came a whole set of new logos and hats. And, the identity was, similar but different as opposed to completely starting from scratch. So those guys came in and, we drove them around the shore. Now, granted, it was January, so it was freezing cold. This is January of 2020. So it's freezing cold, but, you do the best you can. And they got a pretty good feel for everything. They meet with, constituents that we have, some of our ticket holders, business partners and the like, and just kind of get a feel. And then we go back and forth on some designs. Actually, you know what? Give me
let's see it, Greg.
Let me grab them. I have them over here.
Yeah.
So we have
look at all those bobbleheads. I love the bobblehead collection, Greg.
Thanks.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is. I love the bobbleheads. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3. All right. So sorry, stepped away there for a second. I should have had these handy. But so we have 4 new hats. This is our home hat with the surfing crab there. Can you see that?
I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That came out really good. So that's going to be our home hat, red and red. We wanted to kind of differentiate a little bit. The previous version was navy, a navy brim, or navy cap, with a navy brim. So we want to differentiate that a little bit. This one here is going to be on our road to go with our road uniforms. So this is kind of a silhouetted crab. We have the baseball seams there. More, I don't want to say old fashioned, but more traditional less loud, kind of hat. This was the only one that had the baseball seam, so we wanted to at least or had a baseball acknowledgement to it. This one is going to go with the BP jersey. So I love this one too. This one is my favorite. Yeah, I love the yellow.
Count me in for one of those, Greg.
Yeah, it really pops. And then he's got the boogie board. And then this last one is a little different. So we know it's not for everybody, but the people that have purchased it really love it, and it'll be unique. It'll be on a special uniform that we wear once a week.
Oh man, look at those sunglasses!
The sunglasses on top of the cap. Now, if you look really close, you see the. I'm not very good moving the hat here with the camera. You see the Ferris wheel in the reflection, and then in the cloud, you see the JS on one side for Jersey Shore, and on the other side, BC. So it's a little Easter egg there hidden in the reflection off the glasses. So it's a different type of hat. I think it's the only team hat or on-field hat with strictly a pair of sunglasses, like resting. So that's kind of cool. And that's been really popular. It's gone over really well, and we were able to do an unveiling at Convention Hall in Asbury Park, which is kind of an iconic location down here. Yeah. And, it was a little different than what we had hoped to be. I shouldn't, well, I don't know. I mean, we had to abide by the, capacity restrictions of the venue and, the limitations, because we did this in October. So, we couldn't have 3,000 people, on the beach. But that's okay. It went over really well. And we're really
That's awesome.
we're really happy. Yeah.
Greg, let me jump in. First of all, Herb is going to email you our addresses. I got to get a T-shirt, man. Like I'm a hat guy. I got to cover up the grays, but I'm a T-shirt guy too. All
right, no problem.
Whatever you can work out for us.
We can get you something.
Let me tell you what I love about minor league baseball. First of all, I love seeing young talent that can, the progress to get into the the major leagues. I also love the cost of beer. I can afford it. I mean, let's just put it. And then the third thing that I wanted to ask you about, which I absolutely love, is the fan interaction. But I guess you have to, like, how do you entertain? Because I love the kids coming out. They race around the bases. They spin around the bat. How can you entertain without breaking any guidelines?
You mean this year? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're working on a few different things. It's still kind of a fluid situation. Again, we're blessed with a big ballpark, a lot of space. We have in right center at the stadium a boardwalk game area. So we have traditional boardwalk games that you would see on the, at the boardwalk: hoop shot, ring toss, cat rack, balloon darts, and goblet toss. So back there we have some space, and I think we're going to do some of the traditional on-field promotions back there, and then put them on the video board. It won't be the same, but we're going to do the best we can. It's just everything's going to be a little bit different. We've done Kids Run the Bases forever. That's really popular. Hopefully we'll be able to do something similar to that this summer as well. Exactly how the stuff is going to look, to be honest, I don't know yet. We still have 7 weeks, so we'll see. But we'll get it right, and I think people will really enjoy it. We're going to do everything we can to make the experience as similar to normal, similar to say 2019 as possible. But yeah, that's we love that stuff too, and so many of the pictures that you share on the website or on social media, are kids that are 12, that impressionable, 12, 13, 14, big smile, autograph from a player, that's what it's all about. So we'll do the best we can to replicate it, but things are probably going to look a little bit different than normal.
Sure,
that's true. Well, Greg, thanks so much for coming on tonight. Get ready for some baseball. First, we got to get done with the NCAA tournament. Real quick, I got to ask you a question. You guys are part of the Phillies organization. How is the Phillies helping you guys out with all this transition? And, because I know the Orioles here in Baltimore did everybody had a new transition this year, getting rid of teams that you had before, bringing in new people. How are they doing to help you?
Well, the Phillies have been great. We've been with the Phillies forever. So it was a little different transition for us than for a lot of other teams, because for many, I didn't look this up, but I wonder how many of the 120 teams have new affiliates from what they had in 2019. Probably a good amount. I would say at least half, maybe a little less than that, I don't know. But we've been with the Phillies for 20 years, so they've been great to work with. From our standpoint, logistically, we're moving up a level. We're going to have the travel will be a lot less. If we played in 2020, we were going to travel 14,000 miles last year all by bus, obviously. Wow. And that didn't happen. And I mean, I've been on those buses for 10 years, 11 years. I mean, 14,000 is a lot. I hate to say I'm used to it, but I'm kind of used to it. 14,000 is a lot. This year, I think it's like 2,500 the whole year. So now, granted, you're playing fewer series because they're doing 6-game series instead of 3 and 4. So it's fusion. But still, to go from 14,000 to 2,500 is pretty incredible. Even if you double that, you're still cutting it, substantially by 60% or so. So, for us, it's really no different. We're going to Phillies are going to give us great players, and we're going to put on a good show for the folks out here.
That's awesome. Well, Greg, thanks for coming on. We'll get you on before May 4th and see how the development's going. And we hope to see you guys in Aberdeen, and hopefully we'll make a trip up to the Jersey Shore and have some fun.
August 3rd. Get up here. Look
forward to seeing you.
All right.
I'll get up there.
And Greg, the next time that we interview you, Greg, we're going to have our T-shirts on. Herbie, get on it. Don't. I want one of those T-shirts, Herbie. Because Greg's a man.
Which logo did you like best?
You know what I like? I kind of like the sunglasses, but I like. Do you have the yellow in a t-shirt? The yellow cap in a t-shirt?
We have the yellow. We have the yellow shirt. I don't know. I got to check. We have this guy on a t-shirt.
Don't worry. We'll be in touch, Greg. No worries, man.
Sounds good. All right. Thanks, guys.
Greg.
Have a great day.
You too, buddy. Great guy.
Oh my God, folks! That sounds like a sporting goods store right there. Hey, you got a size green? Yeah,
those are cool T-shirts. They're cool hats too. I want to hat.
Exactly.
I'm hitting them up on Facebook with my address. Tell me where to send.
I'll take it, dude. I'll send it to you. Just give it to me. I'll send it to them. All right, let's bring in the folks. We're doing something very special the next 2 Wednesdays. Besides the NCAA tournament and Euan with his locks of the week and all that stuff, we got the young ladies of baseball joining us. So let's bring in Emily. Hold on a second. Let's bring in Emily.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, and here let's bring in Emma. And bring in Jill. And thanks for coming on. Yeah, thanks, ladies. Thanks for coming on tonight. I had this epiphany over the weekend. I was like, it's March and it's National Women's Month. And I'm like, a lot of young ladies who are in sports. I knew some people who are, good friends of mine. They're ladies and are in sports, and you guys don't get a lot of love. So I was like, let's just get some love to you guys. It's this Wednesday night. So thanks for coming on tonight. First of all, how did you guys start getting into broadcasting? What was that niche that woke up when you were growing up as a young girl? Because a lot of young girls play. They want to be. Lawyers, teachers, everything else. How did you start getting yourself into broadcasting? Let's start with Emily.
Yeah, we'll start with you, Emily.
I started to think about it at a young age. I had heard a prior female voice on the radio doing baseball color commentary, and she was the only one doing it, and that's kind of when I thought that I could turn something that I was passionate about into a career.
Who wants to grab next, Jill or Emma? Which one?
We'll go with Jill. All right. Or we can, Jill, go ahead.
So for me, I played softball growing up. I ended up playing softball in college, and I just had this deep passion for diamond sports, baseball and softball. And there was actually a commercial that Jerry Remy, who is the color analyst for the Red Sox, he had this commercial saying, you can have any ticket in the ballpark through Ace Tickets except mine. And that's when I was like, no, I want yours. That's where I want to be. So that's kind of where it first started for me.
Nice. And then Emma, what about you? Go ahead.
So I kind of got lucky. My grandfather was a big league broadcaster and did some work with an NFL team. So I was kind of following along in his footsteps ever since I was a kid, always going to press boxes and stuff. And when I was 15, he had an extra headset for a Division III women's basketball game. And I've been doing it ever since I was 15. Wow. I just fell in love with play-by-play, and here I am with these ladies.
Wow. That is a great story. I'm just so curious, ladies. First of all, congratulations on your success. And Herb and I both are looking forward to bringing you on when you make the majors. Let's just go ahead and solidify that. But I'm just kind of curious, what area of the country did you grow up in? Who were your biggest fans? And also, what were some of the challenges? Not everyone gets to go in and get a headset when they're a teenager, but what are some of the challenges that you had to kind of overcome getting into a male-dominated field? Emily, and then we'll just go the same order.
Okay. I'm from Pennsylvania, and I actually never thought I would end up back in Pennsylvania, but I did, which is great because I've always been a Phillies fan. So now to work in the organization has been phenomenal, and they've been so good to me so far. I would just say there's so many people that run for these positions, and there really aren't that many of them that exist. And as you can tell, there are very few of them that are women. So it's really exciting to be a part of and with these other women and trying to get in as best we can. And I think it's just a competitive field, and it's definitely a hustle, but we've all made our way.
That's great. That's cool. So what's the next question?
Actually,
go ahead.
We're going to let the other two just go ahead.
Yeah, I forgot the other two. I'm so sorry. I jumped in line and being inconsiderate. Go ahead.
That's okay. I'm originally from Hermosa Beach, California, which is in the LA County area. I grew up a Red Sox fan though, so that was my big thing.
Yeah, I'm from New York. I'm a Yankees fan. We're gonna let it go, Jill.
I
All
have
right.
a lot of friends who are Yankees fans. I've dated Yankees fans. It's okay.
All right.
I get along well with them. It's a little fun, competitive thing. But grew up a Red Sox fan. So Jerry Remy, Don Arcello, and Nesson, they were the people I listened to the most. And then in terms of just figuring out how to get into this field, it is difficult. Like I echo everything that Emily said. It's really hard. It's hard to break into it. But for me, I actually had the most difficulty because I was playing a sport in college. I didn't have a lot of time to go broadcast other sports. I didn't have a lot of experience before I got this rawhide job.
That's awesome. Hey, Emily, real quick, Jill, before we move on to the next one, I'm a Met fan, so on behalf of the New York Mets, thank you very much for letting us win the '86 World Series. We do appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Some guy named Bill Buckner. I feel so bad for that guy who couldn't. He was injured. I don't know why Jim McMahon put him out there in first place, but when I was a young kid growing up, I was like, that's a World Series title, and I still remember, when I was a kid growing up. But I want to say thank you as a Red Sox fan. But you guys got what, 3 out of 4 World Series rings in the last couple of years? You're good for a while.
You can keep that one. I'll take 04, 07, and 13.
You're killing me, Herb. You had to bring that up.
I'm sorry. I had to bring it up. You brought up the Yankee stuff. Come on now.
All right.
All right, Emma, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I grew up in Dallas, Texas, and so
I'm a Giants fan. I'm getting killed today.
I know.
No, go ahead, Joe.
You're talking about World Series, and it'd be nice to win one day. But I grew up a diehard fan of the Rangers, and I listened to Eric Nadel and Matt Hicks. My whole childhood, and so they've definitely kind of influenced me a little bit. But we've kind of said it already. Broadcasting is an incredibly competitive position. Every single opening there is, so it's really hard to break into. I think just for the male-dominated side of it, it's just been able to kind of break down barriers and people's idea of the sound of the voice that's going to be calling these games. Because people have told me outright that they wouldn't hire me because I was a female. So it's kind of just trying to change those mentalities around a little bit about, oh no, we actually know what we're talking about. We're also very talented broadcasters, and our voices are just maybe a little bit higher, but we know what we're talking about. So it's just kind of switching that mindset over to the that's to women.
That's true. Hey, what do you think about, another question, I've been watching a lot of sports over the years, and I see a lot of young ladies, doing other sports. Is there another sport that if you're not doing baseball today, is there another sport that you guys know how to do? Because I know me growing up as a broadcaster, they told me to do every single sport there is, no matter if it's skiing, water polo, whatever, is there a sport that you say, hey, if I'm not doing baseball, I could do hockey or I could do whatever, So who wants to take the first question on that one?
I can.
Okay.
I'm baseball or nothing personally. I can do other sports. I haven't done them before, but I am very confident with my broadcasting abilities that I can do them. I just don't want to. I personally don't want to. I love baseball. I love softball. That's my thing where, God forbid, broadcasting doesn't work out. I want to stay in baseball. That's just where my passion is.
I'll go next. Switch things up. I'm similar. Baseball is the number one priority for me. So I basically shape what my off season will look like and locations and that kind of stuff based on where I will be for baseball season. So I've done, I started with women's basketball, and then I moved into men's basketball, volleyball, soccer, football for the University of Missouri for a little bit while I was a student. But everything has been contingent upon, I'm going to be in Lexington, Kentucky for 2 years. I'll be the voice of Morehead State basketball. I moved to Portland, Maine in the middle of a pandemic. So those opportunities weren't really on the table. But hopefully in the next few years, I'll be able to fill the off season with other sports. But it all kind of is wherever the baseball takes me, the other sports will follow, hopefully.
Yeah, definitely to echo what Emma said. I definitely have baseball at the top of my list, but I have experience doing other college sports. Like she said, basketball, volleyball, softball, swimming, all those different ones. So hopefully the longer I get in Reading, the more I'll be able to associate myself with the universities and the other opportunities around here for other sports.
Yeah, ladies, I got to tell you, it's a pleasure to have you on. So I used to live in Charlotte. I just sold my house. I'm down in Florida now, getting a little sun. All right. I got mojitos and margaritas lined up for everybody. Don't worry about it. But, we had a team in Kannapolis, the Kannapolis Intimidators, and I went into the broadcast booth and I did 5 innings with the play-by-play guy. And I got to tell you, very, very difficult. In baseball, baseball slows down so much. There's so much, I don't know what you wouldn't call it, so dead air time, but there's just a lot of things that aren't going on all the time. So you have to fill that in. And Jill, I'll start with you and we'll reverse it. How have you improved as a broadcaster year to year?
I hope I've improved as a broadcaster year to year, but it was difficult. So I really only have one professional season under my belt in 2019 because 2020 was canceled due to the pandemic. And listening back to my tapes, I've definitely improved throughout the season of just having a better pace for play, understanding when to set up a pitch, when to shut up and not talk about this story now when something big is happening. It's something that you have to get a feel for, and having as many reps as possible is so important. That's why having this pandemic and not having a 2020 season was so hard on all of us and all the other broadcasters. But I think I've improved on pace of play and figuring out how to really weave those stories. And I'm not perfect. I'm still learning a lot.
We all are. Emily?
Yeah, I would definitely say it's something that you can't get better at doing without getting more reps. So the more innings that you get, the better you're going to be over time. And it's definitely just understanding the big moments, how to capture everything fully. And like you said, there's so much downtime in baseball. So really doing your research in advance is the most helpful thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that in addition to the reps and just getting a feel for the game, you also get a feel for the types of things you want in front of you. So I've learned throughout my years that I don't want to have my notes on a computer because A, it can crash, but B, I don't like having to consistently look away. I like to look down versus up and over. And it's just little things like that I've learned not to rely on my computer as much. I print everything out. I have it in a binder. Each player has a dedicated thing that I can refer to. If it just happens to be a 10 pitch at bat, or if it turns out to be a 4-hour long game and we're going into extras, and it's stuff like that I think you get those reps in, you feel better with the pace of play, but you get to know yourself as a broadcaster and know your individuality about, if little things that work for you, whether it's note cards, binders, computers, different things like that, just to help fill that dead air. And again, that's what Emily says, where the research and that's where all that hard work and a lot of time pays off.
That's true. A lot of hard work. Another question to ask you, young lady, ladies here. We got Melissa with us for Reading, Pennsylvania, the Reading broadcaster for the Phillies, who's been around. They've been the Phillies affiliate since 1968, so they've been a very long time up there in the Eastern League. But I can't use the word Eastern League this year, Emily, because of somebody has the name. It's like who took the name of the Eastern League? I want to find out who that is. Yeah,
I haven't officially figured that out just yet.
I didn't either. I'm like, okay, what do you call it? Northeast now? So anyway, we got Jill Gilligan, who is out there in California. She's broadcasting the Rawhide broadcaster. How you say is it Vita Vista or what? I guess
Visalia.
Okay, I messed that up big time. I'm terrible. I'm going to send myself down to Norfolk later.
And I'm going to do Emma's. I'm going to do Emma Tiedemann.
Tiedemann. It's a lot easier than it looks.
This has been great. She's up there in Portland. She's up in Portland, Maine, for the AA affiliate of the Boston organization, the Red Sox, the Portland Sea Dogs. Question I'd like to ask you: home run calls. If there's or not a home run call, but if you guys retire tomorrow as a broadcaster, is there one moment that you're going to stand out and say, "Hey, I was glad I was part of that," and you're always going to remember that, and you can tell your kids or your cousins or what?
I'll go first. I already know it. So it happened to be the last game that I broadcasted. It was the 2019 South Atlantic League Championship. My team, the Lexington Legends, walked it off in the bottom of the 13th inning on Friday the 13th to win their third South Atlantic League Championship, and the final score was 3-1. I have goosebumps just thinking about it. And it was one of the most electric games I've ever been a part of. And it makes me actually kind of depressed now thinking of how much I miss broadcasting baseball. But yeah, that's definitely one that I have talked about many times, and I'll talk about a lot more in the future.
Yeah, mine's actually the same sort of thing. It was last game I broadcasted. The Rawhide won the California League Championship for the first time in 41 years. We had been to the championship series something like 11 times and hadn't won the championship. And being able to call that in extras, a walk-off double, and it was our two youngest prospects on the bases and up at bat. To be able to call that and at home here in the Visalia community in a packed ballpark, which doesn't happen very often in the minors for playoffs. And it was amazing. I was very spoiled in my first year.
I would say mine is more of a couple different moments. My favorite thing is when a player gets called up and you're calling their first at bat. And it's such like a special moment to watch a guy come up through the ranks, especially someone that you know is coming up, and it's such a big moment, especially if they get a hit or something exciting happens. I think that's just something so cool to be a part of. Share that with them.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, and then they probably ask you for the audio too. So when they get older and they say, "Hey, I had somebody do my first at bat in the minor leagues," or get called up or whatever. And that's pretty cool.
Definitely.
Yeah, awesome. Well, ladies, thank you so much for coming on tonight. This is a cool thing to do. Helping. Hopefully, this is educational for young ladies that are out there who want to be in sports, because there is a lot of young ladies who want to be sideline reporters or broadcasters, and I hope this could help out a little bit to get maybe more young ladies involved, and maybe we have maybe we'll all have the same time do a broadcast together. That'd be fun.
Sounds good.
Yeah, definitely.
Well,
All
ladies,
right.
thank you. Happy St. Patty's Day. Drinks are on Herb today. No, I'm kidding. But enjoy it. Listen, congratulations on all your success. We want to have you on. We want to promote you. We want to follow your careers all the way to the top. So thank you so much for spending some time with us. I'm Euan, by the way, and that's my buddy Herb. So it's the Herb and Uski. That's my nickname show. So thank you so much for joining us. Looking forward to taking in some minor league baseball this year.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
And I hope to see you young ladies, Emily and Emma, in when you guys come to Bowie, because it's only 30 minutes from where I am. So right down the highway. So we'll stop by and say hello.
Sounds good.
All right, guys. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Have a good night. Thank you so much. So that was
great.
Yeah, that was very good. Very good there.
Great insight from the ladies tonight. My college lock of the year, UConn -3. Take them. They're going to beat Maryland by at least 6, Herbie. You want a personal wager on that or what?
Well, you're down in Tampa, so by the time I pay it back, it'll be 6 months from now, and I probably forget.
We got a $5 gentleman's bet on it, Herbie. All right?
Yeah, that's right. That works.
All right, buddy.
Anyway, yeah, we do have one more. Remember, I told you I moved the Mount St. Mary's women's coach up to 6:30. Hopefully, she'll be calling in. But they're in San Antonio, Texas, so we'll have them on for the last 5 minutes. But let's just talk about what we just had on the program. Those young ladies, they're very good. I was listening to some of their videos on YouTube last night, and they sound really good. It's like yes, it's a lot of, we're in a male dominating world, but let them do some games. It's time for everybody to be equal.
Oh, no question. I mean, look, it's about talent. It should never be about gender. I mean, those ladies are very, very talented. They're articulate. They know the game. They're passionate, and you can tell they just take pride in what they do. So I'm thankful we had them on tonight.
Yeah. So next week, we're going to try to do another one next week at the same time. Not same time, but not at 6 o'clock, but we'll do it our back to our regular scheduled programming time, because tonight we did something earlier because everybody's St. Patty's Day, and I know Uski is going to go out to the bars and the gentleman clubs and all that stuff to
getting primed up for Saturday, baby. I'm getting primed up for the Huskies making the Elite Eight, baby. Let's go. Take it one game at a time.
Exactly.
But hey, my nieces are here, man. I gotta run, brother.
Okay, man. That's cool.
Love you, pal.
Love you too, dude.
Happy St. Patty's Day, Herbie.
All right, man. See ya.
Great job tonight. Great job putting the guest list together tonight. I'll talk to you soon, pal.
All right, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Bye. All right, folks. Well, I'm still staying here, to help you guys. We'll finish the last. Coming up in a minute here, we have the coach from Mount St. Mary's, Coach Maria Marchesano from Mount St. Mary's. They're in the tournament, and guess what, people? They're playing Maryland, so that's going to be interesting. So let's get Coach Maria here so we can finish up the program. Good evening, Coach Maria. How you doing? Thank you so much for coming on. I know you're down in San Antonio, Texas, getting ready to play a local squad that you were supposed to play back when we had you on in November. So it's pretty weird that they're going to say, hey, we just got Maryland and Mount St. Mary's play each other. So how was the trip?
The trip was good. We had a nice charter flight. We got here. The regulations and COVID protocols are so strict. But it is kind of crazy because in a normal year, the first round on the women's side is held on the home court. So in a normal year, we would just be headed, 45 minutes down the street to play Maryland. But this year we got a nice trip to Texas out of it.
Talk about Brenda Fries and Lady Terrapins. They're on a roll. They're just blowing people out left and right. It's like they're scoring 100 points. Like you're looking at the let's use the football analogy. The Clemson Tigers just going right through the ACC. Putting up 50 points or less. So what do you have to do to control that? Because I know if you give them some extra turnovers, it's going to be it's going to be a long afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, the Terps are not just good this year, like in terms of basketball perspective. Like they're historically good this year. I mean, they're scoring the ball at such a high rate. They're shooting it at an extremely high percentage, and especially from three. We're definitely going to have to handle their pressure, like you mentioned. They like to press teams and get out and get easy buckets. The first thing that we've got to do is be able to handle their press and get up our own clean looks. And we're going to have to score the ball. We led our conference in scoring at, 73, 74 points per game, and that's still a good 15 to 20 points less than what they average per game. So we're going to have to come up with a really good game plan, try and make them do some things that they're not comfortable with, and really try and keep their shooters under the wraps.
Well, let's talk about winning the championship on Sunday. I didn't know you guys were in the finals of the North Eastern Conference until when I went to work and I had a lunch break. I was like, Mount St. Mary's women's in the finals too?
Yep.
What happened here? Did I miss something? So you guys played against Wagner, and you played Wagner a week ago at the same place, and they beat you in the same place. So how difficult is it to play somebody basically a week later, knowing their strengths and weaknesses?
Yeah, so we had gone up to their place the week before, and we got our butts kicked twice back to back. But we had clinched the regular season championship a couple days prior to going up there, and we didn't have very much time to prep for them, and we had a travel day, and we were on games 9 and 10 of days 19 and 20. So it was a lot of games. It was a little bit of a championship regular season championship hangover. But credit to them, they just kicked our butts when we went up there. And then when they came back down to our place for the championship on Sunday, we had a much better game plan in place. Our girls were refreshed. They had 4 days to prep for them. Their legs weren't dead from the grueling 10 games in 20 days. And, we had a shaky first quarter. We went down 10-3 in the first quarter and then finally settled in and really kind of pulled away from that point on.
Wow. Yeah. So what is it like for you guys at the university, both men and the women's team, is it in NCAA tournament games? The men around in Indianapolis are going to be playing tomorrow at 5 o'clock. You guys are not playing until probably what? Saturday or Sunday or Monday?
Yeah,
what's the schedule like?
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool. Obviously, we're extremely close with our men's staff and those guys, and especially through the last 12 months with all this COVID stuff, a lot of the time it was just us on campus, the men's team and our team. And They're super fun to watch. They're a good group of guys, awesome staff, and it's so cool for such a small school like Mount St. Mary's to have 2 teams in the tournament.
That's awesome. Well, let's just talk about Maryland. We just talked about Maryland, how they're a historically a great team. What about your guys? What about you? Your guys went through. Your girls or your ladies have been going through a lot of COVID issues. It seemed like when we talked to you last, you had to shut down because of COVID-19, and that was the Maryland game. How difficult was you guys to play the season this year with things up and down?
Yeah, we had 3 separate shutdowns, and it's very difficult, especially for female athletes, to have those shutdowns and then bounce back and get right back into shape. So it was difficult to, manage those, especially with the emotions and the mental aspect of that, to get really up and hype and ready to play a team and then find out the night before you're shut back down. So our girls rolled with the punches, though. They handled it. They just tried to make the most of every day. Once we got back in the gym, they grinded, they pushed themselves, and, thankfully we were able to weather that storm. Like I said, because of all those shutdowns, it came down to the last 3 weeks we had 10 games, which is insane for a basketball program. And, we won 9 straight and clinched the regular season. So that was huge, especially with 2 games to spare. Their legs were dead. They were so drained, physically, mentally, emotionally drained after clinching the regular season. And like I said, then we went up to Wagner, and you could see we were just dead. But we did, before the tournament, had some time to regroup and refresh. And thankfully, we had a great tournament run.
Now you understand what the NBA players go through, because they used to play like back-to-back nights, or they're on a road trip for 4 games, and they don't have any break until they get home. So you ladies have an idea what the NBA or the WNBA goes through during the season.
Yeah, absolutely. We thought about that a lot because there were so many back-to-backs and so many game series that we literally only had 2 days to prep, and then we played 2 more games, and we were on the road some of that time. So it was definitely a crazy stretch.
Yeah, I was talking to some coaches today. The living arrangements, you guys are in a hotel and you're strictly allowed to be on 1 floor, and that's it, right? Is that the plan? And then, how do you get you guys meals? Like, I know one of them I was listening to today, they put the meal at the door, and it's almost like, open the door, like, hey, your food's there, and they all walk away down the hallway. So explain to the folks here, what do you guys have to do to get yourself ready for Maryland?
Yeah, exactly. So today's our isolation day. So we're completely isolated to our room. The only thing we were allowed to leave for is our COVID test. And every single kid has their own room, which is rare. I mean, every single personnel in your party, from AD down to, walk-on, has their own hotel room. I just got my dinner dropped off at the door. It's so crazy, wrapped up in a bag, ready for you to eat. So today was our complete isolation. But, I mean, it's so strict. I mean, when we got off our charter flight, our travel party's only like 25 people. They had 2 60-passenger buses and made us spread out in those 2 buses, 120 seats for like 25 people. When we pulled up to the hotel, they blocked off the sidewalk, so nobody was allowed to walk on the sidewalks while we got our stuff and got up to our floor. And then, yeah, we are allowed on this floor, but today we're not really supposed to leave our room at all.
Wow. So basically, they're taking a lot of precautions because, I know down there in Texas, you're not wearing masks anymore. They've done all that stuff, but the NCAA decided, hey, we're going to keep everything on tack, and I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, it's obviously Texas is wide open, but we have to wear masks everywhere we go all the time. The kids have a tracking device on them, so when we do go to practice, they see how long they're by each other, so that if there is a positive test that pops up, they can isolate just those certain kids. They've put a lot of resources into making this tournament happen.
That's great. Well, Chris Maria, good luck. I know you guys have to do after isolation. I guess you're going to go practice, and good luck on Monday at 4:00. I guess that game will probably be on ESPN, and probably the whole state of Maryland will probably be watching. And hopefully, you guys can pull a big upset and send Brenda Fees. No offense, she's a nice lady. I like talking to her, but send her back home and have them wondering how they can't beat a local team.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. Thanks for having me.
All right, thanks, Coach Maria. Have a good one.
All right, take care.
All right, so that's So, folks, that's the end of the program here. Thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks for all our guests. Sorry we couldn't get Kevin Cohert on. We'll get him on tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow, I forgot to let people know. Tomorrow we're doing a special show. Yes, folks, forgot. We're doing a special show tomorrow. Hopefully not by our cell phone, and we'll try to see if the internet is working better tomorrow. We're here in the program station. But tomorrow at 3:30, before the UMBC, before the Mount St. Mary's game, against Texas Southern. We'll play the interview I had with Texas Southern and Mount St. Mary's head coach, Coach Dan Ingelston. We'll play that as well. And then we have some coaches from lacrosse coaches from Cleveland State, Robert Morris, and we'll have a young lady, Claire from Liberty University. We'll do an interview with her tomorrow. So thanks so much for folks. Tomorrow at 3:00 is a special Uski and Herbie show. So hold on, we'll put that out there, folks. So if you want to, listen to it. So tomorrow at 3:00 is a special edition of the Uski and Herbie show. We'll be back tomorrow on Wednesday night. Next Wednesday night, March 24th at 7:30. We'll be back in our original time slot. We'll get you ready for the Sweet 16 next weekend. So now until then, I'm Chris Heidel for Euan McCreath for the young ladies broadcasting with thanks to Emma Mesa and Jillian Gillian and Emma Tiedemann. Thanks for joining us tonight, and also thanks to Courtney Fear from Stony Brook, and also our friend Terrence Lewis from North Texas, who will be taking on Purdue. So hope you folks could join us tomorrow at a special time, 3:30, for a special Uski and Herbie show. Myself will be on for an hour from 3:30 to 4:30. So thanks for everybody. Have a great night, and sorry for the internet issues. We had some issues with technical issues, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody.